Hello, everybody. Hope you guys can hear me. I'm trying to get myself situated here real quick. Get in front of this thing. I'm gonna see if these comments are working right or not. Let me see. Turn that. There we go. Okay, so it's 8:01, and I'm gonna give it a few minutes so that people can jump on. And this is a redo live from the one that I tried to do on Saturday because my phone overheated, and I do apologize for that. Didn't think it was that warm outside, but I guess it was. And I really didn't have that long left on the live to do it, but that's fine. Hi, Angie. Good morning, dear. Excuse me. And so, yeah, like I said, I do apologize that I wasn't able to complete my live, and so we're gonna do a redo right here, right now, and I will end up deleting the other one probably after I get home later today, so that there's no confusion between which one to watch of the two afterwards. Good morning, Angie. Hopefully anybody else comes on and we'll get going. I don't think it's going to be very, yeah, technology does suck sometimes. Sometimes, I mean, okay, great. Sometimes it's great for us, but others, Anywho, yeah, I'm going to try to give a couple of minutes. I don't think it's going to be a full hour. And, just to kind of give everybody a little bit of a forewarning, there are, well, might want to take some notes. I'm just going to put it that way, because I've got a lot of little mini tips for different types of spells. So, and they're all pretty helpful. Just little things that I decided to keep throwing in here. And when I do my other lives on the other elements, today is dirt and types of dirt and magical uses. And I also plan on doing the other elements. Okay, well, it is 3 after 8, and I've got to, get this going. Good morning, Jennifer. Glad to see you on here. Alrighty. Yes, I gotta have my coffee still. Not enough. Oh, I'm sorry. And I've been here at work for 2 hours already, so I'm still not quite awake and moving. Oh, I'm really glad that you're already loving the series, and this is the first one you got to get a peek from Saturday's mess up live. So, and I'll try to go a little bit slower this time. I realized I was going through that quite quickly on Saturday. Okay, anyway, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get us started. So this is magical uses of dirt. We're going over the element of dirt this time, and then we'll go over the other ones at later dates. So let's talk dirt, huh? All right, magical uses. Cleansing. And like I said, there's also might want to take notes, because there's little information about spells and what you can do. It was a derail. Yes, it was a derail. Cleansing. Okay, so I know cleansing with dirt sounds counterintuitive, but you can use dirt to cleanse your magical tools before or after spell work. So funny. Talk dirt to me, right? To cleanse your tools with dirt, you would dig a hole in your garden or backyard and bury whatever magical tools you need to cleanse. If you don't have access to, or you don't have a garden, or you don't have access to a backyard area, you can use an indoor pot with dirt also. And you can like set it in a window, set it at your front porch, you know. I always say front porch over back porch because you're trying to cleanse, so bring in good energy. Back would be get rid of energy. You know what I mean? The kind of familiar with the as above, so below types. Yeah. So this is why I would do the front porch and not the back porch. You're trying to cleanse your tools. We're trying to bring in good energies. Now, if it's a tool that I purchased at a thrift store or something like that, and it's got something I want to get rid of, I would definitely do it at my back porch. Anyway, and you'll leave them in the ground for at least one night. If they need a deep cleanse, you can put your tools buried in the dirt for a full lunar cycle. Just please, if you, right? So yeah, I mean, I've lived in apartments and condos where I didn't have any, I mean, like even my, the last one that I was in when I was in Washington, working and living up in Washington, it was literally, you went in a door, went up these steps, no windows, nothing on these steps, and then my apartment was right there. But I did have an outside window. So I built a little shelf on the inside of that window, and it faced the moon beautifully, so that was nice. And I put my stuff right there. It was like you walk in a living room and there was a window right there. So yes, I absolutely understand not being able to have, you know, property. But hey, we got to do what we got to do. Anyway, if you do it outside or in your garden, please place a marker so that you don't forget where it went. Something to tell you that it's there. Anyway, so you go ahead and you put them in the ground, and at least for a night, do a lunar cycle if you need a bigger, deeper cleansing. And then you can literally dig them up and rinse them off, and they're ready. So that's cleansing. Hello, Jenny. How are you? I'm glad you were able to pop back on again. Their dirt cleanse. See? That a girl. Banishing. Banishing would be another magical use for dirt. And again, we're going to talk about burying items, right? So burying items in dirt is also an excellent way to, good morning, Michelle. Excellent way for banishing spells. To do this, you write a word or draw a sigil that represents what you need to banish. You can use a rock, piece of paper, bay leaf. It does not matter what you use. Personal item of the person, write on it. Yeah. You could banish anything you want, honestly. It could be a person, it could be a feeling, it could be a habit, anything like that. It could be anything. Personality trait, emotion, yeah. There's so much. It's crazy. Once you've written on your item, hold the object between your palms and visualize the energy of whatever you're trying to banish moving away, going, bye-bye, right? Out of your hands and into the object. Your back door is your front door. Well, if it's your main entrance, then that would be your bringing in door. So it really doesn't matter, back door, front door. I mean, there's so many terms that can be, jostled around. We're going to go with main entrance would be considered your front door. Yeah. Anyway, okay, where was I? You're going to hold the item in your hands, and you're going to, whatever energy you're trying to basically banish, you're going to push that into the item. You know what I mean? And then you're going to bury it in the dirt of your choosing and leave it there. If you ever do wish to reverse that spell, though, you can dig up the object and literally it can be reversed. You dig it up, empty out, if it's a jar, burn it, but you're reversing, and you can do that. This type of a spell is best done during a waning moon. Like I said in the beginning of this, there's little tips throughout the whole life. Dirt is also known for banishing the hex, the evil eye hex. If you suspect somebody has cursed you, you can collect dirt from the four corners of your property or wherever you live, or even childhood home, something that has a connection to you. Being in an apartment, sometimes it's hard to get that. If you've got a good connection with your childhood home, collect dirt from there. And mix that dirt together from all four corners. You stand outside the front door of your home and throw it, and I mean chuck it, as far away from your home as possible, shouting for the evil eye to get out of your space. You're basically like, I always like to say, what's the best way to make somebody go away with your crystals? Throw one at them. Just a little bit of my sense of humor there. But yes, it's kind of the same concept. You are throwing the dirt, but this is protective dirt at whoever is casting the evil eye at you. Okay. Binding. For binding, graveyard dirt can bind two people together. I need to go grab some dirt from the four corners of the property. I haven't heard that one before. It's a pretty good one. It's very helpful. Okay. Graveyard dirt can bind two people together. To perform a binding spell, you collect dirt from a graveyard and choose the person you'd like to bring yourself to. Write your name and that person's name on a piece of paper and draw a circle around both of the names together. I mean, you could do this with candle spells also. I've done binding candle spells, but I like that you could do it with dirt. Fold the paper, and this is where I'm going to tell you, fold the paper towards you. For me, no. Jennifer's asking, does it matter the way, like direction that you throw the dirt, north, south, east, west? No, you're throwing it out your front door. So, yeah. Let's see. Lost my paper. Oh, yeah. Okay. So after you've written your names on the piece of paper, you've circled it, you're trying to bring this connection you're trying to bring in this connection. You're trying to bring in this unity, right? So you want to fold the paper towards you. And then put it in a small, charm bag, just a small bag. And then you want to put that graveyard dirt inside the bag also. And state your intention. You could say something like, never have to go with my words specifically. With this graveyard dirt, I bind whoever and myself together until death do us part. I mean, it's so simple. That is simple, and you can keep it simple. The only thing that I recommend is be extremely cautious if you do a binding spell. It's very common for people to end up regretting the binding spell that they've done, and you basically, they're pretty powerful. You need to make sure that that's what you want. So definitely something that shouldn't be taken lightly. If, by chance, you need to reverse this type of a spell, you would literally unbury the bag. And you could bury this anywhere. Actually, you don't even have to bury this one, but because the dirt's inside the bag. But anyway, burn the whole damn thing. Just burn the whole thing. Bag, paper, dirt, everything. Burn it. Okay? Please do it in a safe spot, though, of course. And then take the ashes from that being burned and dump it into a flowing body of water. Make the water use another element to take it away. Okay? My next one would be protection. I love this one. Simple is best because it gets straight to the point. Exactly. Why complicate things with lots of words? Yes, they're fun. They're cool. If you're a wordy person, great. I'm not a wordy person. I'm more of a straight to the point, feel all of the emotions that I want to feel to go with it, and shoving that into my workings. Literally shoving it into my workings. Anyway, so dirt is an amazing protectant. It's I think all of our elements protect us in different ways, but dirt is one that is amazingly protective. I love the simple ones mainly because I'm the same straight to the point type of person. Yeah, I'm very straight to the point. And that's with anybody and everybody around me. That's even with my guides and my deities. I'm straight to the point. Anyway, so for a protection spell, you would gather dirt from a graveyard again. Ideally, you'd want to collect it from a grave of a trusted ancestor, but you can also just walk through the graveyard until you find a spot to collect dirt that feels natural, energetically good to you. Just regardless if it's an ancestor or if it's anybody else, always ask if you can have some of their dirt, and always leave some sort of an offering. It doesn't matter if it's a stone you picked up off the ground, a piece, it doesn't matter what it is, but if it's from you and it's from the heart, it's still an offering, okay? We always want to say thank you, always. Anyway, mix that dirt with sea salt as you state your intention. I'm going to give you another example. I call on the power of graveyard dirt for the protection of my home or whatever it is you're trying to protect. This dirt guides the passageway between life and death, and it provides that same protection to my home. It's a really good protection one. And while you're saying that, I want you to, of course, feel it and energize it into that dirt. And then, especially if you're protecting your home, you'll walk around the outside of your home and sprinkle the dirt mixture in a continuous circle. So I want you to keep going like this, but as you're walking around the house, you do that circle of dropping dirt. Yeah. So you would do that. You're giving it a continuous circle. It's kind of like a continuous, I don't know, you could even do a figure 8, but it's just literally that swirly, but all the way around your house, right? Or wherever you're living, or your vehicle, or whatever you're protecting. Another person. If you don't have access to that person, a picture. Something. Okay? Something of that person. Oh, yay. That's awesome. That'll be really cool. I would, if I lived a lot closer to where I have family members buried. I'm closer to where my husband has family buried, but not my family. And if I lived closer to my grandparents' grave and my uncle's grave, I would definitely go over there and collect. But I'm 9 hours away. It's quite a distance. Right? Yes, feelings are definitely a stronger punch for your intention. Always. Um, yeah, I was talking about if you're doing it for a person, if you're doing it for yourself or a loved one, sprinkle the dirt over the person you want to protect. If you're doing it for yourself and it's not going to hurt anything, literally sprinkle a little bit of dirt on you. You could wash it out later. No big deal. Or shake it out. Whatever. You know what I mean? We all get dirt on us. It takes care of it. No big deal. Or the other person, or if you can't do it like directly on them, do it over a picture or an item of theirs. You know, I would do that while whispering your intention. Another version of doing this protective spell is to sprinkle your salt and dirt mixture over a tea light or over top of a candle as you state your intention. You could say it out loud or you could say it in your head. Light the candle and let it burn all the way down. Once it burns down completely, your spell has been cast. And this is one of those spells that is done best under the full moon. Find a cemetery you're planned. Oh, that would be really cool. Okay. Let's see. Acquiring a talent or quality. Yeah, there's actually a spell for that. How funny. It's nice to be able to collect dirt from an ancestor's grave because they're always there to help us. You know, well, at least the ones the ones that were there to help him. I mean, I'm not going to go to my father's grave and get dirt from his grave. But I'll go to my grandparents' or my uncle's grave in a heartbeat. Or even my grandmother-in-law. I'll go to her grave. Oh, there you go. Well, I'm glad you were able to switch. Okay. Acquiring a talent or a quality. So, dirt absorbs the energies, talents, qualities of another person or thing quite easily. It absorbs so much, right? So you can use the dirt that has absorbed certain qualities or energies in a spell to grant yourself with any kind, with those same qualities. It's typically done, again, with graveyard dirt, but you can also do it with any kind of dirt that you believe that has absorbed the energy of a particular person. So, you know, nice. I'm going to try to give an example here that I don't have written down. So say that you idolize a certain judge or lawyer or I don't know. I'm just trying to give an excuse or give a thing of someone who maybe wouldn't be at a graveyard. And you would really love to have their same qualities. Well, if it was a case like that, instead of getting graveyard dirt, I would probably go to near the law office or the courthouse that they work at and collect dirt from there to be able to absorb their qualities. You know, I mean, they pass by that dirt all the time. So you know that absorbs their energies, you know. So I would do that. So it really depends on the situation. Though graveyard dirt works great for this, it's not always the go-to. It's not always the one that feels right. Right? So anyway, that's why I wanted to say you can do it from any kind of dirt that you believed has absorbed the energy of this particular person that has this particular talent or quality that you would like to have. Oddly enough, dirt from certain graves that I certainly wouldn't pray over and don't ask permission are excellent for the darker arts. I do agree with you on that. Yes, I do agree with you on that. They're definitely great for the darker arts. But for me personally, I think if I'm even going to do anything with the dark arts, I'm going to go talk to Grandma Marge and get some dirt from her grave, because, yeah, she knows what to do. Depends on who we've got. Okay, anyway, so to do this spell, decide on what qualities or talents you want to call into your life, into yourself. Find someone, living or dead, who has the same qualities. Most of the time, if you're interested in doing something like this, though, you already know who it is that you're somewhat idolizing, right? So it's not like you have to find someone. Collect dirt from a place where this person either is buried, or then that's it, they're dead, or they lived at one time in their life if you can't get to their gravesite. If they are still alive, somewhere that they spend a lot of time. You can also get it for, if they're alive, you could also get it from like their workplace, outside their house, even their footprints. So like if they walked through a muddy area and they left some dirt, and you can collect it. I mean, why not, right? Historical homes and grave sites, famous people work well for this type of spell. I had that written and I had to say that part. Once you've collected the dirt, hold it in your hands and visualize the talents and qualities of that person that you admire. See it swirling around. So that quality is literally like, imagine it swirling around, kind of like creating a little tornado of that dirt in your hand. See if you can sense the energy in any other way, like a pulsating, a temperature change, a tingling sensation, any of those kind of things. You start getting that, like right now, my fingers are tingling. Right now, when as you're doing that, if you start feeling anything in your hands, then you know that you're pushing that in. You're helping them to create and connect together. Then you want to, I never thought of footprints, yeah. So then you're going to take that dirt after you start feeling some sort of a sensation. Mix it with a little bit of water. You don't need like a mud pie or anything. You're just going to mix it with a little bit of water, just so that you basically have a little bit to write with. And then you're going to draw a sigil or write a word or whatever it is that you feel called to. Draw it on your body. And it doesn't matter wherever comfortable. Draw it on your leg, draw it on your arm, here. It doesn't matter. Whatever feels most comfortable to you. You know what I mean? Go with your gut on that. Because if you're wanting the speaking talents or singing talents of somebody, I would use my throat chakra. If you're like me and you want to get better at painting, then I'm going to take the dirt from my, the artist that I idolize, and I'm going to draw the dirt on my dominant painting hand. You know what? I'm probably going to do it on the other hand too, just because I am ambidextrous somewhat. I can use my left hand for a lot. But why not? I'm going to do it on both, right? So that's what I'm saying. If you want the mind of, like a genius, maybe draw it on your forehead. The heart of a compassionate person. I think you guys get where I'm going with this. Use your best intuition. Just go with what feels good to you. It could be anywhere on your body. That part doesn't matter. Let me double check comments real quick. Oh, wow, that's really cool. Jenny, that's cool, being related to Jesse James. I'd have her. I'm not related to anybody famous. Okay, I did the hold your hands, mix it in the water, draw it on your body, leave it on your skin overnight. Okay, wherever you put it, leave it on your skin overnight. Wash it off in the morning. No big deal, okay? The spell will be the most effective on the night of the full moon. And this spell really works by bringing out your natural abilities through your admiration of the energy or qualities of the other person. It doesn't drain or lessen any of the abilities or, energies from the other person. And then, you know how we say we like to thank, when you are rinsing it off, whoever's dirt you acquired, please thank them. Love that. Right? I had to teach myself. how to be ambidextrous. I was right hand dominant, and I ended up in a cast, and I couldn't write, and so I had to learn to write left-handed. I started writing left-handed. And then when I started working with my job, there were a bunch of people that were left-handed that needed training, and we had only one person that was left-handed, and I asked her to teach me how to cut left-handed. And I've been able to train right and left-handed people ever since. I purposely had to teach myself, and I'm actually thankful for it. And sometimes when my right hand starts cramping, those of you that get my letters and you see it's getting pretty sloppy, that's because I'm writing left-handed. It's not as pretty and as clear as my right-handed. But the more I practice, I'm getting better at it. But yeah, and I can do a lot of things, except throw a ball. I cannot throw a ball left-handed. Oh, bugger. I'm sorry, honey. Yeah, okay, so that was the end of that one, of acquiring a talent or quality. Let's see. Cursing. Here's our next one. Can always do, you know how we were talking about simple and effective? You can do a very simple and effective curse on someone by using dirt. To do this, collect dirt from the footprint of the person you'd like to curse. Okay, so this one is a partial hoodoo spell. It's best if you actually see that person making the footprint so that you know it's theirs. That would always be best whenever you're using footprint dirt for anything, whether it's binding, idolizing, it doesn't matter. It's best if you see them make that footprint. You do want to make sure if you're using footprint dirt for anything, it's theirs. Once you have the dirt, take it somewhere unpleasant, like a fly-infested garbage can. A swamp. And I do have it still written in here, and I said it on Saturdays, the DMV parking lot. Undesirable places we hate to go. Why would we want to go there? That's what you want to use. And if you're able to pick that person's personal hell location, even better. If you're able to get to wherever that is, great. Visualize the person in your mind's eye along with how you'd like your curse to manifest. Sprinkle the dirt in the undesirable location, and your curse is complete. Simple but effective. Personally, I like to put a time limit on my curses, It makes it less permanent, but that's okay, because I don't want someone to be in pain forever, right? But it still leaves the option to extend the curse if I need to, right? So, yes, I am compassionate, but I'm also very petty. Anywho, okay, manifesting. Dirt has the natural ability to nurture and grow. This energy is so useful in manifesting spells. Adding dirt to a money jar or anything you're trying to manifest. Most of the time when you say manifesting, a lot of people, it just pops in their head, they're trying to manifest money. But the dump, yes. Oh God, I hate going to the dump. It stinks so horrible there. But I would have no problem taking a curse to the dump. I agree. Anyway, if you have a big, say you've got a big project, goal, or something you'd like to accomplish in the upcoming months, write that out on a slip of paper. And yes, Angie, bank dirt to a money bowl. That when I go over magical uses, that's in there. Write out what it is you're trying to manifest on a piece of paper. And I want you to write it in first person. I. Focusing on the positive results of the goal, right? Example, I am wildly successful. I am extremely talented. So I, first person. I have more money than I could ever spend. However you want to write it, it doesn't matter. Then I want you to just give it doesn't matter, 1, 2 folds. You don't even have to fold it, but sometimes it's nice because it helps you as you're imagining to bring it in. And then you're going to bury that slip of paper either in a pot or in your garden with seeds. Put it in there with some seeds. As your plant grows, your goal will manifest. I'd like to do this one with herbs because 1, they grow quickly, 2, they're really easy. So if you've got a black thumb, herbs are a pretty good way to go because herbs are hard to kill. And you know what? If you're going for something, that's a wild manifestation, something that everybody in your life has been telling you, that'll never happen, that'll never come true. Do it with wildflower seeds. It's an amazing additional punch to your wildflowers. It's just an amazing additional punch to your spell. It's telling the universe that you're bringing in that wild energy that it has. Because that's what they are. They're wild. So anyway, that was just a little additional. See, I didn't add that in on Saturday, but I did now. Like I said, I'm going to delete Saturdays, so this will be the only live so that there won't be any confusion between the two. Okay, so now those are what I have. And I kid you not, those are just the tip of the iceberg of what dirt, what we can do with it. There's so many more. I mean, it's limitless, really, what you can do it with. If you could imagine doing it, you can do it. Okay, I want you to remember that. There's so many other wonderful uses. I even take a little bit of dirt and put it on my altar when I'm calling in the elements. Sometimes I use something that represents earth. Sometimes I just use dirt to represent earth, or, earth represent earth, right? I like to use the elements a lot. And so there's always at least something on my altar if I'm not bringing in something new that represents the elements. And sometimes it's a stone, sometimes it could be anything. right? And it is planting time, so it's a great time to do it. Well, actually, I got to get my seed starts going. So what do you think I'm going to be doing with those seed starts? Absolutely. Anyway, so every place that you can collect dirt from carries different energies. So I want to go over some of these places. Excuse me. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about not missing Saturday. I'm going over everything again today. Saturday, I was doing my live outside, and I did not realize that the sun was like overheating my phone, and so my phone overheated and I just got cut off. I don't like when someone says this won't happen. I tell myself if it's for me, then I will do it. Exactly. That's right. If it's for me, I'm doing it. I don't care what you say. Damn naysayers. Forget them. Anyway, so dirt carries energy. So what places can we collect dirt from, and why? Why would we want to collect dirt from them, right? Bank dirt. Money in abundance. Money has walked through that area. So if you're going to do a money spell, a money jar, anything, bank dirt. Why not? Absolutely. Church dirt. Church dirt. There's been so many prayers and answered prayers, more than we could even imagine, held there. Why not use it? Oh, that's beautiful, Ronette. I love that. I love that. School dirt. It doesn't matter if it's high school, elementary school, university. It does not matter. I don't care if it's freaking driving school. Going back to the DMV thing. Studying, learning, remembering. If it's something that has a good memory, if it's a school of some sort that has a good memory for you, use it. If you can have access, get access to it, go there, get it, use it, okay? Connection. Everything is always about connection. If you can have some sort of a connection, utilize that connection the best you can. Courthouse dirt. It stands for truth. Used for fairness, legal, success, and truth. Okay? Then we've got graveyard dirt. Yeah, I know. I like that one too. We've got our graveyard dirt, used for protection, connecting with ancestral spirits, and tapping into the spirit world. Cemetery dirt is also used for connecting with your ancestors and spirit world. Now, difference between these two is that there's usually a church at a graveyard and not a cemetery. So, and the reason I'm telling you this is because if you're looking for, granted, they do with protection, but if you're, or they're both great for connection, but if you're doing something that's more protection, and you can go to an ancestral graveyard, you're going to have a stronger protection. You know what I mean? So that's so cool. Okay, crossroad or railroad dirt. And yes, I did put these two together because these two, in my personal opinion, can be interchangeable. Used for when change is needed, whether within yourself or someone else, or a decision needs making, whether within yourself or someone else. Okay, that is what, that is one of, there's a lot of other things that those two dirts can be used for, but that is a big one right there. Change is needed or decision making. Okay, police stations, law, justice, and another one for protection. You can't get to that ancestral grave. Right? I do the same thing. I have, of course, I ask for permission, and we've traveled quite a bit. And I have a small jar of dirt from the graveyard that, well, I've got lots of bottles because I do try to go to graveyards everywhere I go. I've got one from Maui, a graveyard that was there, and it was like a slave graveyard. And I felt a connection there, so I collected a little bottle there. I've got one from the graveyard that Marie Laveau is buried at in New Orleans. I've got one from where Jim Morrison is buried in Paris. You carry a jar of dirt when you travel. You know what? I have not carried a jar of dirt with me when I travel, but I need to start doing that. Matter of fact, I have a protection jar here, and it does have dirt inside of it along with a few other things. So I don't carry them in my purse or anything, but I do have them everywhere. I do have them everywhere I go. Anyway, so yeah, we do like to travel. I've got a jar of dirt from Ireland. When I go to Scotland, I'm going to get a jar of dirt from there. So yeah, and they're from all different graveyards that we've been to. Anyway, okay, I'm going to get off of that one. Battlefields is another place. I know that some of you guys live in areas where they still do historical reenactments of battlefields. I've never been to any of those, but I did go to Normandy beaches, and I do have sand from there. But anyway, I like that. Dirt from home to keep me connected and bring me back home safely. That is beautiful. I love that. I might need to do that for all of my husband, myself, and my kids. I love that. Anyway, battlefields are imbued. They are so emotionally just filled with energies of courage, strength, and sacrifice. And they're often used in protection and empowerment workings. So those are two beautiful things that you can use battlefields for. And I do. It's not battlefield dirt, I have battlefield sand. So I have that. Garden dirt. Who cares if they look? Matter of fact, I think one time I pulled out a little jar and I was collecting dirt, and somebody saw me collecting dirt, and next thing you know, they pulled out like a little baggie and collected dirt themselves. It was like, sometimes you got to be the starter of it because there's other people that want to do it too, but they're afraid. But I'm that person. I'm like, whatever. I don't care. My husband and kids used to be like, somebody's going to see you. So what? Right? My biological father's family is from Germany, and I want to go there, and I do want to get some dirt from there also. I agree with you, Angie. I used to care back in the day. I used to care. Now I don't care anymore. We have come a long way. Okay. I think I was going to tell you guys about gardens. Yes. Gardens stand for growth, or they carry the energies of, growth, fertility, renewal. Ideal for abundance and healing. Here's a different one that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Fields, plains, and or prairies, right? There are few boundaries or restraints with these open fields. So to me, what does that equal? Freedom. The absolute freedom. Feral, wild freedom. Planted yours yesterday. Oh, that's awesome. All good here, right? Well, that's good. See, you kind of, somebody already knows what you're doing. Anyway, yes. Fields, plains, and or prairies. So big open spaces. If you're able to get out there, and there very few boundaries, very few restraints, open fields, beautiful. And it's also helpful for courage, confidence, and even release. Okay? Forests. Why would we collect dirt from the forest? Amazing for grounding, cleansing, and strengthening your connection to nature. You've got a, oh, sorry. Ow. I love that question. Frequent digger miles. You know, if they handed those out, a lot of us we'd have a freaking hell of a lot of miles on us. Ow. Sorry, I've been getting headaches lately, and I don't know why. Anyway, so forest, grounding, cleansing, and strengthening connection to nature. Four corners dirt. Okay, so I'm talking, these are four corners from your own personal property that you live on, or even a property that you admire or want to live on. Okay, there's two different things that you could do with four corners dirt. You can use it from your own property to create a protective boundary. You do a spell working with it, you use the four corners, you're going to create a protective boundary. Another thing that you can do is if you pick dirt from the four corners of a property that you want, it knows where it came from. So you could do a spell working with that dirt to help you acquire that property. Ren Fair Dirt, confidence and costume creation. Right? That, Angie, would be a great one for the acquiring a talent or quality, right? There's so much talent and so much, it's crazy there. So yeah, that's free pass at the gate, no questions. Nice. Ours don't have gates. We just have an opening that's never locked. But we only have, well, 1, 2, 3. I think we have 3, maybe 4 cemeteries here. Ours are cemeteries, though, not graveyards. So we don't have any actual graveyards. So, yeah. Anywho, okay, where was I? Oh, yeah, your protective boundary. Yeah, talent and quality, absolutely. Anyway, protective boundary. That was your four corners dirt. Protective boundary or prospective property. Can do that 2 different ways, right? But simple and easy. Footprint or shoe dirt. I know that we went over it in a couple of the spells for the different things that you can do, but taking dirt from the bottom of a shoe or from the footprint of your target works well in domination, binding, and cursing. Here's another one. Riverbank dirt. This dirt aids in ending addictions and codependency. Pretty helpful dirt. Construction site dirt. If you're trying to build anything, whether it be a business or relationship, even if the relationship's romantic or not, This dirt knows what to do. It's building something. This dirt knows what to do. And then my last two, I've got hospital dirt for healing and mental hospital or asylum dirt for confusion, to cause confusion in someone. So there we go. Those are what I have. And literally, I mean, I kid you not, guys, these are not, construction site dirt is incredibly pertinent in our life right now. Okay, there you go. These are not inclusive, and these are not limited to, okay? These are not the one and only thing that you can use these for. There's, like I said earlier, if you feel a connection to it or you can imagine it, you can. Johnny is literally building a construction company, right? Use the dirt. Sorry I said that, and all I could say is think in my head at the same time was use the force. But seriously, yes, use it. It is the force. Fuck, my clothes are trying to fall off on me. And I'm at work. Oh, and I got chills. Anywho, yes, there you go. I'm going to open it up for any questions. I really didn't think that I was going to take an hour, and I did. That was cool. But I'll open it up to any questions and answer any. I do love that he's working on building his construction company, and I would definitely use one of the sites. There you go. Not far from Dallas. I want to go to Claire. Ooh, that would be kind of cool. Oh, you're very welcome, Jennifer. Oh, good, to do. Thank you. I'm glad. Send me some dirt, right? Bandits. Collect dirt. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything else but doing some animal spirit guide work. Maybe connecting with nature, something like that. That might be useful. I just saw something pop up, but then disappeared. Okay. Huh. The force my types. Right. Yeah, I'm so glad you guys enjoyed this live, and I love working with dirt. It's crazy. I like getting my hands dirty anyway, so. Definitely rewatch the beginning. Most definitely. I think you popped on pretty early. There's not a whole heck of a lot ahead of what you didn't catch. Yes, definitely, please. Go roll around in it. Come on now. Thank you, Jenny. Okay. Let me see. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't have any questions that I want to answer. And if that's the case, or if we don't have any, then that means I actually have to get my butt back to work. I have some lab samples I have to go collect and get sent out. So starting your garden today. Yay! I just literally, so my greenhouse isn't done yet. My husband's hoping to get it done later this week, but I did have my desk in my spare bedroom taken downstairs so I could get my seats. So I have space in my spare bedroom now that I have a bed in there to get my seed starts going, because we put them in the ground Mother's Day weekend and I need to get my seed starts going. Let's not roll in Burning Man, please. I missed that one. So I'm super excited for this entire series. I'm excited for this entire series. So, and I will get the next one up and posted for when it's going to happen next month. All right. Yes. Lots of absolutely amazing things that you can do with dirt from, yes. And it smells awesome. I love the smell of dirt. I think that's something that one of the very many things that Ronette and I have in common, and we love the smell of dirt. On that note, I'm going to let you guys all enjoy the it's still early, so an absolutely beautiful Monday. And I'm going to go get my lab samples collected so I can get those shipped out. And on that note, I'll see you on the next live. Thanks, you guys. Many blessings. Bye.